Sobriety. Today I am grasping the concept of sobriety at just Jamie. Sobriety was my first introduction to the nonprofit space. I lived in a halfway house and I got sober that way. I also lived in a full-time business and I got to see firsthand what running a faith-based sobriety-driven nonprofit looked like. I also got insights into all the ways it could be ran better. Our counselor held something called Roundtable once a month for people that had problems with the staff and for the staff that had complaints about the residents. At the time, me and my best friend in the house were talking about this concept of a recovery center. Hers was going to help youth victims and mine was going to help traffic victims. It was like a college experience, maybe overseas. No, there weren't toga parties and hazing, but we had our own version, like quote unquote Holly House 15, which is all about the first 30 days in the house. You're probably going to gain at least 15 pounds from being away from your drug addict friends and family for the first time. We had the same drama. I think that a lot of us were actually in college, so it was pretty cool. But the reason why I left, well, I remember my best friend in the house. Let's call her Core. Core was basically like taking her court order as an opportunity to make things right with God in all aspects. And so when she moved into the house, she pretty much immediately told everyone she was LGBT and being faith-based. They tried to change her. And the sad part is it worked. It also drove me away. And when I moved away because of the drama, well, the drama was too much. Me and Cord were talking about this gift of discernment from the Lord. What the hell does that word even mean? Well, at the time, I didn't care. I lost a lot of my memories being away from my immigrant family for almost 10 years at the time, and especially after all the drugs and alcohol, things that were already confusing in childhood just got more confusing after that. And so I knew I needed answers from my past, or I wouldn't have gone back to live with my family. North Side. I never lived on the North Side before. It's a strange place. You have Wake Forest University on one end, and on the other end is like the ghetto. Maybe it's the Walmart version of HPU. High Point is like that too. Anyway, North Side was great. I remember being happy there, even without my memories, but I was living with my sister. She's an addict and an alcoholic, but at the same time, I would have never been convinced of that, and trust me, people tried. Women and men in my network told me it was a bad idea to move in with my sister, but I didn't believe them. In the end, I was the black sheep. Everyone else was better by comparison. Even when she got me in trouble at school, all over one Xanax, I still wasn't convinced. Today, I do know I have the gift of discernment because I know my sister is an alcoholic and addict. And the truth is, my sister knew the 5 guys who raped me, and she was most persistent telling me I should go back to them. She's a rapist to me now. It's been that way for a while, but I guess it's just the first time I've actually written it down. Tickling my child's feet while I'm on the phone, trying to tell her that her opinion and her voice matters, all in a phone call visitation that shouldn't even be happening. Chad. It pisses me off. It's so easy to take advantage of gay people. Predators love to take advantage of gay people, men or women, if they're the same gender. It's easier to make them feel guilty, and if they feel guilty, it's easier to make them stay quiet about the abuse. Chad got caught because he's a male and I was a female, but I've been quote unquote tickled by women too. It's disgusting. I've tried to talk to my child about it. She knows about consent. It's still being stolen from her. She knows about LGBT. It too has been stolen from her. And I don't expect her at 7 years old to know the right words and the right time to say stop. I always say her voice is going to be the most difficult thing to learn because I know what she needs without her saying anything. I know what she means by just looking at her. That is a blessing, but it is also a great responsibility when communicating with others who don't have that gift. I'm mad about Nickelodeon. The whole feet thing really bothers me. Thinking of how many hours we went shoe shopping just to walk down a runway for one audition. It's disgusting. I don't like feet, but how often she would abuse my brothers and sisters through my modeling and exploiting it. It's disgusting. I hate it. And then I am just as lost as her about how to talk about it.